I am the physicist, and this is the only video in the world where you will be able to experience the making of an electromagnetic anti-gravity field. This is also the only video you will be able to experience and watch real, true anti-gravity and matter floating in midair, levitating in midair. Let's begin. First, we will make an anti-gravity field. One plate of anti-gravity. Let's make another plate of anti-gravity. Let's make one more field of anti-gravity. Now, let's test the anti-gravity by having a little aluminum foil circle levitate in midair. Let's make it visible so that we can actually see it float and levitate in midair. I have a little plastic knife and a piece of thread so that the matter or ring, foil ring, will not float away. But as you can see, it's floating on this electrostatic field. Let's see if we can make it even better. Okay, is that better? Maybe a little better there. This is matter floating on an electrostatic field. It's actually floating on an electrostatic field. Now, we have another piece of aluminum foil, or a little plate of aluminum foil. As you can see, it's floating around as well. I don't want it to move so fast. You can hardly see it floating if it's moving too fast. There we go. Floating around on an electrostatic field. Let's see if we can make it a little more visible. See, the string and the foil is laid out straight like that because it's floating. We can make a better picture than that. Let's move it around a little. Move it over here, because it doesn't matter where we place the plastic, the field is within the plastic, so it's going to float regardless of where we move it. It's going to float up there, okay? I want to slow it down a little for the camera. Right there, like that. Okay, enough of that one. Let's get another one. Let's have this little chair here. It's a chair that's floating around here. It's a chair. That chair is floating. Bring a little closer there. This chair is floating around here. There it is, a chair floating around. It's a chair. I made this little chair out of foil, aluminum foil. It is floating around there in midair. Okay. Let's have the first two back. I seem to be a better view right there. It's a better view right there. You can better see it float. That's the first object that we had floating around right here. This object right here. Put it on the table, put it back. It jumps up off of there and starts floating around. How about that? How about that? Floating around in midair. That's what it's doing. Yeah. Let's have this one back again that we had already. It's a better view. Okay, there we go. Oops, floating around in midair. There we go, floating around. Floating around in midair. Floating around. Okay, let's go to another object, like this one right here. Okay, there it is, floating around in midair, floating around. Anti-gravity. True anti-gravity is what it is. True anti-gravity. Let's get a larger one to float around in midair. A larger one. There you go. Whoa, floating around in midair. Whoops, floating around. Whoa, it's floating around in midair. The larger one. Can I get it to stand still a little bit? You better see it. The larger one. One larger than this. Hold on. Get it to float in midair for a second. Let's turn it around that way. That way. There you go. There you go. Midair. Woo! That was good. Now let's get one even heavier. This one right here. Floating around in midair. Look at that. Floating around in midair. Anti-gravity. There you have it. Floating around in midair. And lastly, I have a leaf here. A leaf. Come off of a tree. Floating around. Whoa, whoa. Floating around in midair. This is a leaf off of a tree. Floating around in midair. It's a leaf. I like the larger one. Let's have the larger one back there. I like that one. Looks like a ship or something. I like this one most of all. I like this one most of all because it floats around in midair. There you have it, people. Anti-gravity. Floating around in midair, 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 midair. There you have it, people. Anti-gravity.